Algorithmic trading is the use of computer programs to generate and execute trading orders. It has become increasingly popular in recent years, as it can help traders to make more objective and disciplined decisions, and to automate their trading processes. One of the essential principles of successful algorithmic trading is to never trade when the market is consolidating. Consolidation is a period of sideways price action, where the market is neither trending up nor down. Consolidation periods can be difficult to predict, and prices can often be volatile and unpredictable. This makes it difficult for algorithmic trading systems to generate profitable trades. Here are some specific statistics on the percentage of losses incurred by traders during market consolidation. A 2017 study by Investopedia found that 67% of day trades lose money. A 2020 study by TradingView found that 72% of trades taken during market consolidation lose money. A 2022 study by Fidelity Investments found that 65% of traders who trade during market consolidation lose money. These statistics suggest that traders are more likely to lose money when trading during market consolidation than when the market is trending. This is likely due to the fact that market consolidation is characterized by periods of low volatility and sideways trading, which can make it difficult to identify profitable trading opportunities.
Here are the consolidation and bullish breakdown set of algorithms basically functioning. So let's examine what the performance is from 1st January 2023 to 4th November 2023 for this time period here. And the algorithms are working, they work 4 times a second, and they basically detect, and these are all the 37 banks listed on the National Stock Exchange. And each one has got a different set of economics, fundamental performance. Some are very good, some are good, some have just come into the market, and so on. Regardless of the fundamentals of each of the banks, and regardless of the years, this year 2023, geopolitics and the fundamentals, etc. Let's examine the performance now of each one of these stocks here. But first, let's go to the summary. And in the summary, please check. There were 244 trades which the algorithms executed, out of which 207 are winners. But please note, there is zero number of losses. And let's examine each trade over here, one by one. Once we understand this pattern, for each year that you go backwards for 8 years, that understanding will be easy. For example, if you look over here on the top, this is the signals, means the number of time the algorithm generated a buy signal 5. And 4 are winning signals. There is 0 losses. So if there are 5 and there are 4 winning, what happened to the last one? Let's explain this. And the analysis for each one is absolutely common. Let's examine what generated the maximum signal. So J&K was the best. It went ahead and purchased J&K 15 times in its 1 year, and there is a very humble profit margin of 5%. So 14 are winners, and 14 into 5% gives you a return of 70% for J&K for this period of 10 months, or actually 4th October, so 9 months over here. Similarly, for Ujman, 13 times of trading was take place. There are 12 winners, no losses at all. So let's examine any one of them in great detail. Now, for example, 15 signals were generated here. Let's see what the algorithms have described. And here are the 15 trades from the time you started, when the profitability was 0. And here is the first trade, you made your 5%, that is 5,040. Then you made your second trade, and this is cumulative. That 5,000 more became 10,000. And similarly, on the last 15th trade over here, you had made a profit of 70,000 rupees and 58. And here it is 70,058.90. 14 trades, etc. So this graph taken directly from the performance of each signal is given to you here, and this corresponds with what's given on the top over there. Let's move further. And here is the summary only for J&K Bank. Total number of signals was 15, the number of wins were 14, number of losses 0, and number of wins and winning streak. That means 14 out of 14 trades won. There was no loss. Losing streak naturally is 0. The maximum gain in any of these 15 trades was 5,040, but the average gain was 5,004. Pretty close to each other. Average loss does not arise because there was no loss. Maximum drawdown. Drawdown is when you're carrying out a trading activity and regardless of your strategy, what was the maximum that you lost at one time and then hopefully made some profit? In this question, since there was no loss at all, the question of drawdown is 0. Let's examine this further and go down to the transaction details. And this is precisely the stock exchange data which comes on the graphs from the actual day, date, and time. Green arrows indicate when the trade was entered into. Here. So if you look at this particular green arrow over here, please note over here that on the 5th of July 2023, a trade was executed. The algorithms gave a positive signals and the price of J&K was 66 rupees and 65 paisa there. Red means when the profits were booked. So this started on the 5th, and in a day's time itself, it was detected over here that your 5% is made, and at 69.10 closing price, this 5% was there. Similarly, the day, date, time is given to you on the graph, and this represents precisely on the National Stock Exchange. Going even one step further, for each of the 15 trades that were executed, the first was on 11 January at 1:15 in the afternoon. The investment capital provided here for ease of understanding is 1 lakh. And 1833 scripts were purchased. Why? Because 1 lakh divided by the price at that moment at 1:15 was 54.55. 1 lakh divided by 54.55 when you purchase 1833, and it's a buy. And immediately in 2 days' time at 3:15 in the afternoon, the price rose from 54.55 to 57.30. You made your 5% profit, and a sell algorithm generated a sell, and it reflected here as a targeted price. This is the principle followed for each trade, but what is noteworthy is there is no stop loss. There is no exit. Here there is a targeted profit, and the target profit occurs 15 times right in the end. If you come down to the last trade possible, except please note on 6th October, today the 4th November. So from till now this trade J&K is active. It was purchased at 115, 863 trades, but the trade it hasn't reached its target yet so far. When it reaches the target, then a sell will come. That is why from 15 signals that were generated, 14 are winners and one is open. And this applies to all the 31 trades. So if we examine all of them, anyone in details over here, let's examine IDFC first. The procedure is going to be precisely the same. In IDFC first, here are the signals generated starting with 0 over here. By this third trade, you had made 15,000. Towards the end, you made 50,639, which is reflected here, 50,639. Here is a summary. There were 11 signals generated. 10 of them are winners. What happened to the 11th one? It is open. The winning streak is 10, like the number of wins, and the rest is all usual. However, in the maximum one particular trade, instead of 5,000, you made 5,613.75. But your average per trade that you won or that you made money was 5,063 and 92. And again, here is the graph. There's a complete set of graphs shown for each of the trades. green is the buy, and it tells you precisely at the stock exchange that on 22nd August 2023 at 92 rupees, IDFC First was purchased, and then follows the immediate red over there. And this particular red at 94.95 on 4th September, you had reached your target of 5% and the trade was concluded. And similarly, the precise details of each transaction, 2nd January 2023 at 10:15 in the morning, the price of IDFC First was 61 rupees 15 paisa. A buy signal was generated and 1 lakh of rupees the capital allocated allowed you to buy 1635 on the 2nd. Please note over here, please note, 2nd January you bought and you held on for 5 months. Yeah, 5 months when the price reached 64.20. So it is not that you make your money in 1 day or 2 days. Most often you make it in a week or two. But there are times also when your investment is blocked for the period of 4 to 5 months. Yet it has given you 11 signals. Here, 11 signals, 10 are winners at 5% each. You still make a 50% profit on this particular trade, which is basically reflected over here. IDFC First, you made a profit of 50%, 50.65. Now, this is the format for each year for each of the trades. And this practice is followed. Let's go backwards now from 2023, 8 years backwards, and see what the performance is. And what we will look for is the number of losses. There will be 0. And here you made a single trade. But please remember, we will not be trading anything which has appeared less than 6 times. So where it has appeared 6 times over here, in my particular trading strategy, I would take the number of 10. Or here, I would take the number of 10. So I would invest only in scripts which have occurred at least large, which I will give a detailed demonstration later on as to how that basically happens. One is open, is giving you 43% gain as compared to 5% for the whole year for the best of stocks, that Nifty 50. Here we have got right from average to poor stocks to very good stocks, only the banking stocks, no selection. We have just taken all 31 and here are the results. 349 times the trades were activated by the algorithms over here, but this is most critical. There are no losses at all, 313, and there's actually 37 stocks there. Remaining 37 are all open. Winning streak is 8.46 times, which is continuously a 1 over there. Losing is 0. Drawdown means you've never lost a penny. This is what the whole thing is about. So this is, and once again we come to the top. See, the best performers over here would be UCO Bank, which has given 112% return. Karur has given 84% return. Union has given 80% return. Bank of Baroda has given 7. More important, please note all 0, 0, 0, 0 losses on the all year. So this year is exceptional. 82%, 73%, 15, 55%, 14. There's 14 signals that come. Look at the performance that is there for each of these stocks here. And after it comes down to 50,000 here at 11. And at rare cases, maybe up to 10 here. All the rest of the stocks we'll ignore. How we do that, I will explain in detail later on. So this finishes off the details for 2022. And all the details, as explained in the first slide, all the details given here, these 23 signals that are there, here are all the 23 signals, 1, 2, 3, 4, right up to the 23rd. It made 1,12,502. Here's 1,12,000. And the complete details, along with the summary for each script, each stock over there, and then the transaction details in the graph forms. More important, each trade, the time that it took place, the buy and the sell, and at what stage is it on hold. So we come down to it. The last one is buy sell. The last one on 27th here. On 27th December 22, there was a buy. Now, this trade is only up to 31st December 2022. So obviously, this is 4 days old. This did materialize in the next year, and we made the same amount of money on it. And if you see from the summary over here, the maximum that we got for one particular trade was 6,925, but the average per trade that was made is 513. So similarly, there's no loss whatsoever for the year 2022. 21. So let's take this 22 over here and make it 21 January 1st up to 31st, 22nd here. And let's run these backtests now. And in these backtests which are running, and here, please note, there is a 32.91% profit over here. 352 trades have come, 216 went in, 37 are on hold. This is critical. This is critical here. The number of losses are zeros. So this is the third year that we've had no losses, and the statistics are given here. And from this 32.91%, how much did we pay the stock exchange? We paid them less than 1%. Or 1.5% over the brokerage. So even the brokerage is practically nothing. And which was the best trade that came for this particular year? The best that came was Indian Bank with 14 trades, with 14 signals, 13 wins, and one is open down there. And the details, of course, for each one of them is provided exactly the same I explained earlier. Here is a graph of each time they came. Here is a summary of Union Bank. And then here's a graph from the stock exchange. Every time, every trade with time, distance, money here. Whenever it is come over there, please note the time, the minute to the second, and the price it was purchased down there. But the ledger comes over here that it was purchased 11:31 at 88. This is the ledger given there. And similarly, this is the details available for this particular year. I repeat, there are no losses at all for this year. Explains that all the data has come from the stock exchange. And here the profit this year is just 10%. The COVID year, 2020. But however, still more important, there's zero losses. Absolutely. And the other format of the data is precisely the same. And the best trades that have come this year would be CSB Bank, which has given 35,000. So we would take up to 6. 30,000 has come over here. Up to 6 we would take here. 6. And forget the 4. We would trade in these limits here. So this is the performance, and I repeat the performance and the details for each one, the graphs that are provided for each of the trades here. The graph for each of the trades is given here. The summary for each of the trades. I mean, this output is absolutely perfect here. The stock market trades when they took place. That's when these trades basically took place. Green is buy, red is book profit. The log and the transaction details. And the last one which came here, there's a buy sell and there's a buy on 6th November. So till 31st December, nothing happened. This CS Bank is still held on. And that is the performance. Going back to summary, lowest profit this particular year, still higher than what the banks offer here, but there's absolutely no loss. And we repeat, which have taken place, which have come to a signal of 35,000. So our rate of return would no longer be a simple 8%, but it would be an average of 35 plus 30 plus 29. All these trades up to 6 we would take. 25, 39. So 40 into 6. Approximately 35% or 30% is what we would have made this particular year. So let's check the performance, what happened in the year 2019. First, you see, 2019, what was the performance line? What comes here? So we made 16.83. Once again, please note, this is the loss factor here. 147 trades came or executed, 113 win. 37 trades are active at this moment. They are open. So let's see which would be the best trade for the year here. And we would have taken this 9 definitely. Up to 6, we would definitely go. You're making 29% here. 29%. We made 30%, most of them. In 6 also, we made 25%, but there we will stop. At 6, we will stop. So this is 5. We would make this at 25. I would say the average would be 30% plus that we would make for this particular year. And as usual, the data for everyone is precisely the same. For Axis Bank, here would be the graph of each day, date, and time that each trade that took place. Here is the summary for it. And this, I repeat, this summary is available for every trade in every year. Here is the graph giving you the details and when the trades basically took place. Here, that's when the trades took place. Cluster of trades took place here. When they came, what time they came, etc. And here, exhaustive details of the transactions. And in the transactions, the last one of the buy on 17th June. So can you imagine over here how long the capital would be stuck in this last buy over here. Till 17th June you buy, and till December the results have not come in over here. Most of the other trades come within a month or 2 here. So this is the results for the year 2019. Here is the performance for the year 2018. The profitability is 12.83. The total number of trades are 111. 79 are winners. More important, there would be no loss. There is zero loss. Now, let's check the brokerage, and it is about 0.7%. Coming down to this, which are the trades, companies which didn't exist at the moment. Here are the companies, Ujjan, TMB, etc., which just didn't exist. And also finding out where you got signals greater than 6. So here we are. These are companies which give signals greater than 6. Bandhan Bank gave 49%, Cub 40%, Kotak 35%, IDBI gave 40%, AU Bank gave 25. These are all with 6, and we would have invested basically up to 6. So between 25 and 40. So say about 32% would be the average, even though what's shown over here is just 13% or 12.3. But in reality, this would be about 30% that would have landed in our hands. Let's here examine now what happened in the year 2017. So let's get back to 2017, January 1st, and up to 31st is the year. Let's run the back test over here. So you made a profit of 39.62, and you take the brokerage. So you paid about 1.5% brokerage. On 272 trades that were executed, you got money in hand for 241. Remaining 37, they are open. And here we are. The number of losses is 0. Winning streak, drawdown, most important, is 0 here. And the format is precisely the same for all. And the best trade for this particular period, when the year 17 was taken, the zero, these never occurred. And South Bank did very well. He made 80,000 there, he made 70,000 in Indian Bank, 60,000 in PNB, Bank of India 55,000 rupees, DCB Bank 58, everywhere is over 50,000 rupees, 50, 40,000. We'll go up to 6. Up to 6 over here. The lowest was 25,000 and the highest was pretty close to 80,000. So you can say 50,000 plus was the gain. And of course, the structure inside is precisely the same. The number of times that South Bank came, the summary came 17 times, 16 cash in hand. Maximum amount of money you made for that one trade or 102. The rest was just 8 rupees less average. Here is a graph for that particular year. When the trades all basically came with all the details provided for each trade, date, time, date, open, low price, etc. And then, of course, the transaction details. And the final transaction details over here because so many trades came. Yeah. That 29th November. So this is excellent. Just a month is gone since this trade was purchased. It is active. But the results have been extraordinary. So this finishes off 2017, one more profitable year. So here are the results for the year, calendar year 2016. From 1st January to 30th, and you can see there's a profit of 29%. 202 trade signals came, out of which 172 were actually graded, before which we got the money. More important, there is absolutely no loss whatsoever. And from 29%, the brokerage that came to is about 1.5% brokerage that we went to. This is the amount of money that we made. But what would be rather interesting is the number of scripts which didn't exist in this particular year. And let's see them. These are the scripts that didn't exist. And so which is the script which really gave dividend to the Indian Bank? It made 75%. Yes Bank makes 70%. DCB makes 64%, 55%, 50%. Yeah, so this is where 44%, 45%, like I said, we can go up to number 6 signals. Here's 6, 6. So it's pretty good, 32. So there is a fair amount of percent, right from 32 to 75. So say 50% could have been the return, because though at the end it tells you the return is only 29%, we would not be trading on scripts which don't exist, and we would not be trading on scripts which have got any signals less than 6 or 7. So this basically completes the performance of the algorithms in the year 2016. So here we have the results from 1st January 2015 to the end of the year, and there is a profit of 25.34%, and actually the markets lost 2% this particular year. Still, from 70 trades, 41 we won. The rest are, like I said, open, but more important than that, and of course, as usual before I finish, there's a number of losses of 0 and drawdown is 0. But these are the scripts, all these here, which one, TMB, and so on and so forth, they didn't exist at that particular time period. And now we come down to scripts which basically perform the best. And here is DCB Bank, which made 29,000, and Suryodaya made 26,000. So this is the actual amount of money that we basically made in each of these scripts down there. So the performance has been consistent for 2015. There's been profitability, considering there's a market loss, an overall market loss. And instead of eighth year, for which we had made a claim that there are no losses, this is a bonus. This is the ninth year for which there is no loss at all. There is no loss.